back everyone to Catherine's Plates. I'm Catherine. Today I want to show you how to make homemade pudding. I've got two different flavors going on. I've got a vanilla that I'm going to show you and a chocolate. So simple ingredients that you can pull right out of your pantry, easy instructions, and it's going to taste so good. Okay you guys, let's come over here. I'm going to start off with my first one and show you how to make chocolate pudding. Okay, so here is everything right here. What we've got: sugar, white granulated. I've got vanilla extract. Now I'm using regular salted butter. If you're using unsalted butter, you can add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, but don't add that if you're using regular salted butter. I've got cornstarch, 3½ cups of cold milk. We're going to be using some cocoa powder and chocolate chips, and I'm using the semi-sweet chocolate chips here. Okay, that was it you guys. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put our dry ingredients into a large saucepan. We're going to start off with 2/3 cup of sugar, and to that we're going to add 1/4 cup of some unsweetened cocoa powder, which I have right here. Y'all be careful with this stuff. I mean, it flies everywhere, huh? So it's probably like 2 big spoonfuls here that we're going to get in there. Okay, just like that. Add that. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of some cornstarch. And to that 3 tablespoons, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon, okay? 3 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Now, if you're using unsalted butter, at this point you can add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. But since I'm going to be using regular butter that's already salted, I'm not going to add any more salt to it. So what you want to do is just take a whisk and then blend this all together. Try keeping it all in the pan. This stuff's going to fly everywhere. We want everything blended well. Y'all make this, you're definitely going to have people surrounding you wanting this. There we go. Okay, I'm going to bring my milk over here. I'm going to put my pan on medium heat. Okay, while my pan is heating up with all of this in there, we're going to go ahead now and start adding milk slowly. I'm kind of blending it together. Okay. We want to get all that cocoa powder. You know, that's really the hardest part about cocoa powder, is blending it, right? Okay, so make sure you're whisking constantly. That will prevent this from burning and scorching on the bottom and the sides of your pan. And it'll also help blend it all together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is allow this to come up to a boil, and then when it does, I'm going to bring you back. Okay, I can really tell it's starting to thicken. It's been about 7 minutes, which is good. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to go in there and just really vigorously, you know, mix this. So just smoothly keep it going. Stop every now and then to see if you see it's bubbling. Do you see the bubbles? Okay. Once we start seeing the bubbles come, we want to just continually mix nice and slowly for about 1 to 2 minutes, and that's going to really help thicken this up. As you can tell, it is definitely getting thick there. Make sure you scrape along the bottom. That'll keep it from scorching and burning. We got a nice consistency going there. What we're going to do is turn this off. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. I just kind of broke it up so it can melt faster. We're going to add 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2, and then just half of that. There we go. And then about 1/4 cup of some of our semi-sweet chocolate morsels. Okay, what we're going to do now is completely whisk this down until it is all melted. That butter is melted and everything is incorporated together. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to put this into the container that we're going to want to use. You can use small ramekins or large ramekins. So I'm going to start off with a few small ramekins for individual portions and then put the rest into a larger one. You see how thick that is? And it will thicken as it cools. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to cover these with cling wrap or saran wrap, anything like that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is put these in the refrigerator for just a couple of hours, about 2 hours, until they've cooled down, and then they're ready to eat. Okay, I've pulled my pudding out of the refrigerator, what was left of the chocolate. It didn't last very long in there. It didn't last to set up either, let me tell you. All right. That tastes just like a pudding cup, you guys, honestly. It was so delicious. This made about 6 to 7 servings of our size anyway. Just to kind of give you an idea of how much that was. All right, tell me what you think of my homemade chocolate pudding with very minimal ingredients. And you saw how easy this came together. How about we make easy homemade vanilla pudding? You're not going to believe how easy this is in simple ingredients. We've got sugar, milk, butter. Now, this is regular salted butter. If you're going to use unsalted butter, you're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. We've got cornstarch, vanilla, and 2 eggs that we're going to separate because we're only going to need the yolks out of them. Okay, I'm going to show you how to separate your egg yolk from your egg whites. So I'm just going to crack an egg on a bowl here. And we're going to let the whites of the egg fall into the bowl while we keep that egg yolk in the shell. And then you want to just move it to the other shell. Let all that egg white fall into a bowl. And just keep doing that a few times. And then we're going to put that into our bowl. Okay. Okay, in a nice sized skillet, we're going to go ahead and turn your heat onto a medium-low. Okay, to the pan, we're going to add 1/3 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, the 2 egg yolks. And the 1 tablespoon of butter. Now I'm going to start mixing this together as I'm adding 2 1/3 cup of milk, very slowly. A little bit at a time until we get everything incorporated. Now this whole process is going to take about 7 minutes, and what we're looking for is it to start bubbling once it gets a little thicker. Now you don't want to go like crazy with it, okay? Just continually stir it, just to what we're trying to do is keep the milk on the bottom from scorching, so we're moving it around continually. We're going to add the rest of the milk. Okay, we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. Y'all, that is everything we're going to need for this pudding. All right, I'm going to continually do this, and I'm going to bring you back right as it starts getting to that boiling stage. Okay, we are definitely at the boiling stage. As you can see, all those bubbles right there. So what we're going to do now is continually mix it. Now don't vigorously do it, just lightly, just keeping the milk from the bottom scorching on the bottom and on the sides. And you can tell that it's getting really thick at this point. We just want it to the pourable stage of thick, okay? Okay, so I'm not seeing any lumps at this point. Now, if you do want to sieve it, you can. You can get a large bowl and then you can pour it through a sieve and just push it through. And, to get any lumps out, if you think you have lumps or if you see lumps, I'm going to leave this the way it is. Okay, we are good. Look at that right there. Perfect. I'm going to turn my burner off. Now I'm just going to be using like these goblets right here to put my serving sizes in, and then the rest of it will just go into a container that I can put a lid on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just clean the outer rim of my glass here. Okay, so what you want to do now is seal these off. I'm going to use some cling wrap. Okay, now these are kind of like double servings here, so you can get about 6 servings out of your pudding. Now I'm going to place these in the refrigerator for a couple of hours to cool these down. And then we're going to try it for you. Homemade vanilla pudding. I'm going to go in for a bite. That is delicious. Oh my gosh. You saw how easy that was to make and how many ingredients you needed to make it. Not many. I put you to the test to make this, and then let me know what you think of this vanilla homemade pudding. Gosh, it's very delicious. Okay guys, what do you think? Chocolate or vanilla homemade puddings? Which one do you want to try? Okay, I'm not going to leave you without giving you some more ideas right beside me here. I'll meet you over there at those videos. Give me a thumbs up, comment down below. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you'll always know when videos like this are posted. Okay, I will see you on my next episode.